For Wall Street Media, I'm Mike, I'm here with Doug, and we'll help you make money in the stock market with information you can't find anywhere else.
Hello there, my friend.
Hey.
We're ready to go. We've got oodles of Lazard stuff, right?
Yes, all bioscience companies.
Who's curing what, and what are we going to make money in?
Absolutely. For anyone that's interested in the full presentation, you can go to wsw.com/webcast/LZ5. First up, we have Melissa Luke, Vice President and CFO of Meridian Bioscience, tickers VIVO, explained the test and treat programs for cough, cold, gastritis, and diarrhea symptoms, Premier Platinum HPSA and Immunocare Stat. HPSA to detect Helicobacter pylori and the diagnose and monitor the infection. Failure to do so may lead to stomach cancer. Immunocare toxin A and B is a diagnostic test to detect Clostridium difficile toxins. They are currently in phase 1 and phase 2 trials for rotavirus, which caused illness and death in infants and children worldwide. Tim Nelson, CEO of MAP Pharmaceuticals, tickers MAPP, spoke about Budesonide, a better option for Pulmicort, the current drug in use for pediatric asthma. He gave a variety of reasons why it's better, including a smaller molecular structure which allows for more rigid and efficient delivery.
And guys, this is why you should watch the show and listen to the webcast. They're up 5.5% today.
People liked what he said.
That's right.
Mitchell Gold, President and CEO of Dendreon Corporation, DNDN, discussed the large addressable prostate cancer market, both androgen-dependent and independent. Also discussed Nuvenge for breast cancer and Provenge for prostate cancer. We talked about them a lot. Schaefer Price, CEO of Pharmaceuticals, VRUS is the ticker, detailed the current scientific studies and research being put into their new hepatitis B drug, Clevidine. Mitchell Steiner, CEO of GTX, tickers GTXI, spoke about the global strategic collaboration for Osterine. He also described positive clinical trials for and commercialization for toremifene, the only drug under investigation that prevents side effects from ADT. Paul Hamelin of Servient Pharmaceuticals, tickers SVNT, spoke about trials in pegloticase, positive results, and a US launch in the first half of 2009, which has great potential. Nielsen Isabel, Vice President of Investor Relations and Corporate Communications at BioVal Corporation, tickers BVF, focused on the business and economic side of pharmaceutical development. He talked about BioVal Co.'s new strategic focus in response to the changing markets, commercial portfolio, long-term goals, and new acquisitions, and enhancing of senior management.
Yeah, these guys have had a few bumps in the road over the past year, and they're down a little bit today. You know, the market is, as usual anymore, down a little bit today. But they've got a hell of a dividend. They just declared, 37.5-cent dividend quarterly paid, right? That's like 17% where they are right
on
now.
An $8 stock.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, you know what else? I bought some more of WERN for myself today because they've got that special dividend coming. It's going to be $2 a share, and they were trading like 19 or something. And it's coming soon, gang. You have to be shareholder of record by November 21st. We just webcast them. I think they were at Cabelli.
Buy soon, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, I added some more today, right? $2 a share, you're going to pick up on $19?
You just hope that once you pass
people
that line,
don't back out, right? Yeah, well, that's what you're wagering on.
Right. BJ Lehman, President and CEO of Astersys, ATHX, discussed.
What? I'm not going to say anything because it's so much easier when you're not the one reading them. When you go through all these biotechs,
Yeah, it really twists your tongue. ATHX discussed the obesity program and gave an overview of 5-HT2C. That must be a drug. He also discussed a biologic product platform. Vincent Florenza, EVP of Becton Dickinson and Company, ticker is BDX, spoke about BD PropTech and BD Viper System for reducing spread of STDs. They also have they are also focused on advancing global health, enhancing therapy, and improving disease management. Susan Morris, Director of Investor Relations for Genentech, tickers DNA, spoke about many products in development and trials, including Rituxan for rheumatoid arthritis, as well as developments in immunology and tissue growth and repair. Robert Cohen, Senior Oncology Fellow, spoke about the company's bio-oncology vision and the oncology development pipeline, including 16 new molecular entities. He spoke about Avastin undergoing studies in various cancers. Everyone is working on cancers nowadays, it seems like.
Cancers, diabetes, you know, it's really, I'm telling you guys now that you're on the cusp of the revolution. And do you know what news I saw today from Aspen Bio? One of my favorites, right?
APPY.
They've just about filled up their trial. They think it's going to finish earlier on their test for the appendix. Yeah. So take a look at that. I added a little more of that to my own account today.
Colin Goddard, CEO of OSI Pharmaceuticals, tickers OSIP, spoke about entering growth around Tarkiva. The Saturn initial first-year data analysis are completed, and both the study's co-primary endpoints have been met. Saturn has the potential to help anchor the future growth of the Tarkiva brand. He mentioned other quality candidates in oncology and diabetes obesity. Harry Stilley, CEO of Sequenom, tickers SQNM, talked about Sequenom's molecular organic solutions, non-invasive prenatal diagnostic, and the market opportunities to these new treatments. He goes over the scientific methods behind diagnostic research and the ability of the company's test to detect diseases early on pregnancy. Michelle Burris, CFO of Trubion Pharmaceuticals, tickers TRBN, spoke about a strategic cooperation with Wyeth Pharmaceuticals regarding their SMIP technology, which stands for Small Molecular Immunopharmaceuticals, specifically TRU-015.
Modular.
Sorry, modular.
I guess I knew you were going to walk out of here of the studio and you're going like, oh yes, oh yes.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like I went through this that well, but
it was wonderful, man. Guys, Lazard, very, very, very smart in this area. And you should listen to the whole presentations if you're an investor in this area. And if you're not an investor in this area, you ought to think about starting a biotech basket. And you don't want to put all your eggs into any one of these, but an awful lot of them are getting so close, and see where they are, see what kind of credibility you feel when you have them, begin your research. And I think we're at a revolution, and I think I'm the only one that's out here in the desert screaming it, where you can just see so many of them are getting so close to getting products through. And very important things, you know, none of this is for like, you know, oh, bad fingernail, right? We're talking about cancer and diabetes, right? And horrible conditions and really alleviating the suffering of people, right? And we're getting closer, and there's so many that are getting closer.
Yeah, true. Almost every company has a couple of drugs in phase 3, so that's really amazing. Do you think creating your own basket is better as opposed to trusting someone with your money?
Yes, I do. I think that what you should do is take a look, do your own research, look up their news, check out what their earnings have been, what they've been saying. For biotech, particularly important is the burn rate, right? How much cash in the bank versus how much a month until we get the product to the market, right? Right. And what are their prospects? What kind of partners do they have? Did they bring something else to market before, right? That's always a huge one for me, right? Is what kind of a track record do the management have? Have they ever gotten anything else approved, right? And what do they sound like on our webcast? What do their slides look like? What kind of questions are they answering on our webcast, right? You know, and I think you should be looking in different areas and look at, you know, make sure that you have 5 of them or 10 of them. I wouldn't have too many more than that, right? Or you get too diluted. But you certainly don't want 1 or 2, but you certainly should be looking into this area with so many of these guys coming through and they're through phase 2, they're in phase 3, or, you know, how many times over the past month have we said that, this is going to happen in the first
absolutely.
half, the first quarter of '09. It used to be when we were doing these, that we were talking 3, 4, 5 years down the road, right? And my eyes kind of glazed over, thinking like,
Government also got a little faster with the improvement, right?
No, they've actually been very slow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I found an interesting list on Seeking Alpha a week ago that was, the proposed times for when they were going to review things.
That's what it must be then,
Yeah.
because it said that there's like the speed trial, right? Where you can just speed through the process. Don't some drugs get that?
Yeah, fast track status.
Fast track.
But, they're really not doing a very good job. I mean, the guys from Cypress Bioscience, they were supposed to be approved in October. Hello, anybody there at the FDA? Yeah, you're taking too long for lunch because it's November.
And it's not really an oopsie because it saves lives, so
right.
Some people really depend on it.
Yeah, it's not like, everybody's outraged, my plane was late. How about my loved one died
Right.
from a treatment that, the bureaucrats were all going to meetings
Exactly.
about.
So
in
it
the
really
meantime.
matters.
A Biotech Basket, guys. I think you'll thank me in a couple of years.
Great. Well, that's all we have for Lazard. We certainly have more later. We're here every day at Wall Street Media. You can find us directly at wsmco.com. Thanks.